So thank you for coming. What I was going to do this evening is just to begin with, try and make the membership as simple as possible because it's quite confusing and we haven't done it before. So just so that you really know how it all works. Um, Talk a little bit about the program for the year so that you can see what's included in the full membership, and then talk about home. That's coming up in February and March. And then probably, I guess, after that, we'll go straight on at 9 to talk about the reset, the small group program that is just for 12 people. And then any questions that you've got, just throw them out, and we'll just see how we get on. Does that sound okay to everyone? Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay. So just to begin with, then, this is um, like the sort of the bare bones of the different um, options. Okay, so if we think of it in terms of three options for this year, the first is a full membership, which gives free access to everything. Basically, that's just everything. We can just think of it like that. So you get free access to everything that's upcoming. Or well, if you pay for the whole year, you get free access to the entire year. If you pay month by month, you get access to any live things that are going on in the month that you're a live member. You get access to everything that has all the recorded private study courses from 2021 and beyond. And there's really some lovely ones in there if you haven't done everything. They're really, really nice courses from last year. And then there's some really fun member bonuses. So on the months when there isn't a live course, so that we have a little bit of a break and a bit of downtime, but there's some really nice bonuses which I'll talk through. And then the light membership, it really is a light membership, really, because it doesn't give access to the live courses, but it gives the possibility to buy the live courses as private study. Once they're finished as a live, they get turned into a private study course, and then you can buy them just a bit more than half price of the live course. But the light membership does give you access to all of 2021 courses and previous. And quite a few people have bought that already and are making their way through the different courses from last year. But it doesn't give you any of the member bonuses because those are just for the full member. Okay. And then there's the option of no membership, of course. And what this means is, so anyone who's not a member can buy the live course at the sort of public price, which is 447 for the 60-day and 247 for the 30-day. It doesn't give access to any of the past courses, and it doesn't give any bonuses. Okay. So in terms of the cost, what I wanted to do with the full membership, which is why we've got this January bonus, is to use it as a way of thanking everyone who's been so supportive of all the courses and who've contributed so much. So I wanted to give like the cheapest possible price I could, and at the same time I wanted to put the prices up to the public to reflect their value, because they are really, really good courses. There's so much in them. And so the bonus that we've got is the special discount to the end of January, which is the 447, which is the price of the home 60-day course coming up, which is equivalent to £37 per month. And after the end of January, it goes up to 564, or you can pay by month for £67 a month. That's on a rolling 3-month contract. So you'd pay 3 months at a time, and you'd have access to everything in those 3 months. Or then the light membership is much, much cheaper. It's £100 for the year or £10 a month. So that's the, oh, there's Kerrigan. That's the overview of the membership. Any questions there in that? Let's stop the share then. Is that okay? Does that sound pretty clear?
Claire, can I just ask with the three? So if you choose the pay monthly option, are you still committed for the 12 months, but you pay it in 4 lots of
No,
three?
you're not committed for any amount of time. You're just committed for the 3-month contract.
Okay, yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah. And so if I
did I understand correctly that if you have this light membership, you can also self-study home after it's finished?
You have to buy it though. On that option. On the light membership option, it's not free.
Okay.
You have to buy it. Yeah. It's because I wanted to find a way like to keep the sort of value of the courses, because they're so good and there's so much work that goes into them. So really, I would say the absolute best value option by a mile is this offer before the end of January that gives you access to everything for the year, and it's it's easily worth over £2,000 when you add up all the different things that you get. And I do know it's a big chunk of money in one go. So if anyone is struggling with that, let me know, because we could spread that amount over 3 months if you wanted to. I can help out that way. But that's the way to get the best value from all of this by far.
Yeah. And will you be sharing the PDF when you share the? Will you be sharing this visual when you share the link?
Yes. I'll email out to you this recording and all the visuals.
So if we have questions afterwards, we could send them to you via email or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, any questions, just let me know.
There.
Oh yeah, hey love.
Yeah, I was just, when you talked about not being able to maybe pay the 447 all in one go for January, if you did split it over those 3 months, is it still for the value of 447?
Yeah.
It doesn't increase like the other ones do?
No.
Right. No. Okay. I just wanted to check.
So that there would be a sort of not publicly known, but
yeah.
But if that helps, then we can definitely do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is really the best? So the most. I know you probably just said this. Sorry. The way to get all of your courses at the best price is to do the January thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or for the lowest price, I should say.
Yeah. It really is. And there's so much going on this year, and really fun topics. Because it works out as, so this £37 a month that it works out as is, I think it's like 14% of the 2022 price of each course, and it's less than half what everyone was paying last year for the courses. So it's really it's the absolute cheapest I can make it, but at the same time, I know it's a chunk of money up front. So if I can help with the spreading over the 3 months, let me know, and we can sort that out.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, my love.
Thanks, Claire.
So shall I? Oh yeah, carry on. Sorry.
But if you have this light membership, what do you have to pay for home then?
For home, you would pay. So if I go back into the thing. So for home, it's up here. So it's 247 for the 60 day.
Okay.
And then the other courses, which are all 30 days throughout the year now, 157. But the light membership does give you free access to all of the past courses.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Should I just quickly take you through what's coming up this year so that you can see? Oh, that's not that one we want. Oh. Can you, what can you see there? Can you see just
Yes.
the 22 all inclusive? Is that all you can see there?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you pay everything, if you pay the 447 before January or on this 3 months spread out, which we can do, you would have paid for access for the whole year to the membership. And that would mean that everything that's included, everything that's written here is totally free. It's absolutely included. If you pay by month, so £67 a month on this rolling 3 month contract, you would get whatever live courses are happening in those the months of that contract. So when you end the monthly contract, then you wouldn't receive access to any more of the live courses. Is that okay? Is that clear? Yeah. Okay. So January. Yeah.
Claire, sorry, can I jump in?
Yeah.
So it's only the ones I've done previous, like I did all your courses last year. Have I still got access to them?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's just this year's lot. I will only have this year, and then not at all after that. Is that
if you keep stay with the membership, you'd have it as long as.
Yeah, so if I only join this year, I would only get them for this year.
Yeah.
But if I join again in 2023, then they just come with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask why is that?
What's that?
Sorry. Is it too rude to ask why is that then?
I think I haven't understood the question.
How come if you've bought them, you can't have them after that?
No, anything that you've had access to, you retain access to.
So in 2023, I would be able to still see like home, for instance.
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah.
Right. I was getting completely.
Sorry, Karen. I was thinking that you have. But yeah, you'd anything you've had access to is yours forever.
Okay, right, but nothing after that. Right, I get it.
Yeah.
Sorry for being a bit dense.
That's okay. So included, so all the stuff that you have access to from 2021 through this, you have access to forever now. That's never going to go away. And anything that you do as part of your ongoing membership, is yours forever.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, you're quite right. That would not be very fair, would it, to take it away?
Thank you.
So what we've got coming up, so February and March we've got Home, which I'll go through in a moment. I'm super excited about Home. It's such a good program. And then April, our members only bonus gift. So this is literally only for the people on the membership, no one else. We're going to do a 5-day mini course on money, which will be a very interesting one. In May, a super course on rest, which we've never looked at really. It's never been something that's come up on any of our courses, but we're gonna look at it from the point of view of a mind trying to control rest, trying to control sleep, trying to be the master of all of that, and rest actually being the space where it all happens. So that's awesome. Bonus gift in June is going to be a members only webinar for current or future or soon to be coaches or teachers, employers, parents, really looking at what is going on with coaching, what it really is, and how really it's a healing process for the coach we're going to be looking at. Then July, we've got a 30-day online about playing and really learning really, like play as the space in which learning happens, and how when the identity's in action with it, it's like learning stops, basically. Like it's like sort of closing down. It's putting everything as a replication of what it thinks it knows already. Our August bonus gift is a universal subliminal recording on health and vitality, and with the aim of aligning the mind back to the intelligence of the body, which knows how to thrive. In September, we're going to do an online live course on other people, which we have done before. We did it. It was called Love. So this will be Mark 2 of that. It's called Them this time. And that's always good. Courses on other people are always excellent, because it's where all our veterans are. And in October, we've got a bonus gift of a writing workshop on really what allows freedom of expression through writing, and what impedes it. And then in November, we've got a 30-day course on wanting, on desire, passion, fulfillment, and how wanting can actively prevent the thing that's apparently wanted from happening, and how when want is really aligned, when it's sane, when it's actually not confused, it's the fulfillment of it is inevitable. And then we'll have a surprise bonus gift for Christmas in December. Great. So it's a super year. I'm so excited about this year. And then later on, when we talk about Reset, the Reset 22 course is going to go from May through to September. But we'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, so any questions on that before I close that? Yeah, okay. So if I go into home.
Hey, Claire, I had one question.
Yeah.
The day of the week and time of the webinars.
Yes, that's now going to be on Wednesday for the live courses. Wednesday, okay. 8 till 9. And then, okay. Yeah, it's changed, because I've been doing those Monday calls when it was my evening with the kids, and well, one of my evenings with the kids, and just felt a bit not right to be working.
No, that makes sense totally. Thank you.
Thanks, lovely. And then the Reset ones are going to be on Thursdays. I'll talk through that. And then home. Oh, which I managed to get rid of. Yeah. Can you all see that? Home, what it is and how we know we're there. Yeah. The this course, this is really like a bringing together of all the real foundation courses that we've ever done, and it's really attempting to address the question. Great, it's great to say we're already here, we're already ultimate peace, we're already freedom, we're already pure intentions, but what if the experience of mind, the belief structure, the idea of what we are, is so far away from that, is so out of line with the truth of what we are. So it's like that's the ultimate paradox of this conversation, and we're looking at that from every possible angle that we can over February and March. And yeah, so yeah, because I think what we every time that the mind is trying to get somewhere, trying to see something, or trying to have enough insight, or trying to be enlightened, the whole thing is skewed. The whole thing is coming from personal identification, and we're going to spend February and March seeing how the layers of that personal identification are really designed to fall away ultimately, to just leave what's true. So over the 2 months, we've got 20 recordings, one every 3 days. And I've divided the whole course up into 6 topics. So these are the topics here. I'm going to begin with consciousness or awareness, presence, then intelligence, aliveness, life, energy, wholeness or oneness, peace, and love. And these are all different different pointings, we could say, of all the different non-dual teachings. And oh, there's Terry again. And so we're going to consider really what is each one, really, so that we can see what resonates most with us. Because there'll be some that like really chime into our deepest knowledge, our deepest memory. And so for each of these I'm calling them ways in. I don't know a better way to phrase it, but they're not the thing. They're ways into the thing, if you see what I mean. And for each of them, each section, on the day that it begins, you'll have a new subliminal, universal subliminal, which is written expressly about that area. And the idea is that over the, it's just over a week for each section. Over the course of that week, the aim is that we really listen to that particular subliminal while we're engaged in the conversation. We're listening to the recordings, so that we give it the best chance, really, of really resonating deeply with our subconscious mind, amplifying the volume at which that's playing out in our experience, and allowing some of the blocks of the conscious mind that through identification rule out these things, rule out ourselves as being pure aliveness or pure intelligence. And so I'm super excited about this. It's working on all these different levels, this course. I've never done it this way on an online course before. And we're also, within each topic, having a like a sort of exercise or a practice or a suggestion of something that can make this more visible, more obvious to us as we go through our daily lives in that week. So it's 6 ways of understanding our truth, and there'll be different book recommendations, different quotes from different teachers. 6 ways in which the mind moves further away. So what veils that particular thing? How does identification as a personal mind hide this? And then 6 practical ways to settle the mind into reality, to loosen the grips of that identification. 6 different subliminal recordings. There's 9 webinars, to Diane's question, 8 till 9 p.m. GMT on Wednesdays now. 20 first come, first served one-to-one conversations. And our normal with our Facebook site and the podcasts, and so it's exciting, this one. It's really, I had a question of whether it was suitable for beginners, and I think this one is really, it's really going to span the whole spectrum. So it can definitely be for people who are brand new to this, because we're really trying to get behind the words in a way and just see what's really true, what's obvious. But equally, for those of us who've been in this for a while, it's a chance to go deeper, I think, in any of these areas. To start, maybe there's a couple that we've never addressed, never thought of, or never gone into any depth in. And so it's a chance, I think, to broaden and deepen where we're at with this conversation. Yeah, so it's an exciting one. It's got everything I've got in it, basically, this one. Yeah, so I'll stop there. Any questions on any of it, on the membership or on home or on the year program? Hi, Terry and Kerry. Sorry about all that palaver. It's recorded for you, so I'll send it out. So sorry.
Yeah, I thought I was going nuts.
Yeah, I think everyone did. So sorry, my loves. Yeah.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, Deborah. Hi, love.
Hi. I always find this stuff tough when it comes to really like physically challenging myself, and like I'm thinking, no, I've got to do this, and then up comes the fear with, you've got 6 ways to make sure you do it. So you will hold our head under and make sure we do this stuff, won't you? Because I just keep running. Every time I get stuff, I run away.
Oh, you're so lovely. It's the things for doing, they're going to be more around just really sort of watching what goes on, you know, like watching where the mind goes, maybe doing some journaling, things like that, to bring us back into a more and more observation mode, more presence to what the mind creates and what things are going on in the body. So yeah, we can.
I just stay in observation then, though, and nothing happens, and it carries on churning.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So
Well,
I need you to be strict, please.
Okay. Well, one strict thing is set up a one-to-one near the beginning. How about
okay?
So to set up a one-to-one near the beginning, so we can talk it through, and then we can maybe give you a little bit of homework for the 2 months, maybe. Yeah.
Good one. Thank you.
Thanks, Deborah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of following on from what Deborah said. The voice was so good. I mean, best course you've ever done, in my opinion. How can you top that then?
This won't top that in that way.
Okay.
This is more of a, because voice was the sort of challenge, like that was the real it was quite brutal. It's quite brutal voice, I think, in lots of ways. I love that you loved it.
That's brilliant.
This isn't brutal. This is really it's fortifying what we already know, this one.
Okay.
On all levels, on conscious level, subconscious level, and in terms of our engagement with the world level. And what we already know is total ease. So it's raising the resonance, I would say, of the foundation of that's either quite present in the mind or right in the background of the mind of what we really are. And then, so I would say, I think for all the courses that are coming up in the rest of the year, this is the one to do as the foundation for any deeper movement out into the world, I would say, you know. It's and I think with the subliminals as well, it's a magical combination. I just hear it from everyone. This combination of conscious, very logical, very rational investigation into what we are, which we just can't argue with, really, when we really get very real and grounded with the conversation. So at a conscious level, it makes total sense. And then we're supporting that with subconscious input that's literally changing the whole foundation of belief. And often, you know, people do get reactions from the subconscious, from the subliminal recordings. And you can almost visibly see the brain changing really with it. It's and the energy that is being used up by the brain is phenomenal with these things. So it's a powerful combination, both levels. Really, you know, Deborah said about sort of holding us to look. This is really holding our heads to say, look, this is what's true. The rest of it is imagination, projection, associations, meanings, creations, concepts. Incredibly useful, but not one grain of truth in it. But this is true. This is what we are, and it is holding our heads to that. Yeah.
Hi, Claire.
Hey, hi, Sharon.
Hi. I was just wondering, are you moving away from your website to, is it Simplero?
Simplero, yeah.
Simplero, yeah. So anything that I've purchased for on the website will be moved over to that platform. Brilliant. That's okay.
Yeah, 100%. And anything that, anything you've bought previously, you'll still have access to. And if you don't, because you know, as you can see by this evening, it's not all glitch free at the moment. Any glitches, just let us know, and Sam's on the case straight away. So yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, any other questions on this? And then I could just briefly talk through the reset if anyone wants to stay on to have a little look at that.
Go ahead, Alfie, since you have a question. I was just going to say more about the subliminals from firsthand experience.
Oh, yeah. Would you want to do that now, Suzanne? And then because we've just been mentioning them, and then I'll go to.
Okay, well, I'll be very brief. I've had a total of 5 different subliminals over the course of the last year, because I was not only in most of the programs that took place, but I also participated in Reset. And the subliminals really do work if you listen to them. The first ones just felt like a warm hug. Insecurity was just dissipating. I felt safe. I felt loved. Just a whole settling was happening. Some of the later ones, because we were working on specific areas, they didn't feel quite so cozy. But I listened to mine at night, and even my partner is changing in a better way, because he's subjected to these whether he wants them or not. So they really do, as Claire was saying, just target the areas of resistance and just kind of melt them away. And not everything goes away, but nothing appears to be a problem any longer, which is 3/4 of the resistance equation anyway. So that's my plug for the subliminals. I love them.
Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, I love that you've had that experience. It is how it happens. If you think of how much of our entire lives and behavior and experience is driven from the subconscious, it makes so much sense to go there directly. Yeah. Thank you, lovely. Thanks, darling. And Alfie?
This might not be relevant, but I thought I'd bring it up because it's sitting there, and it's so before I came on the webinar, I was sort of thinking, oh, it's not going to be possible to do it, but I'll just come because I love Claire, and then I'll just kind of join in. And then, of course, I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I want to do it, and but I just get myself caught in this loop of like, isn't the bit of me that's seeking, that wants to do it all, is therefore kind of immediately grasping as if that might answer something, or I don't know what it's thinking, but isn't the thing that's driving me to sign up also the thing that's actually the problem? And so there's always this confusion of, is the most freeing thing that I could do just walk away and not ever subscribe to anything and just know it's all in me? But that doesn't work either. So I just thought, if there's a light way of answering that might, in case anybody else is, maybe nobody else.
And that's why I did the home course, really, because it's exactly that. That's the paradox that we're dealing with, is that the seeking, the attempt to fix, the attempt to have the right conversation or the right experience or the right insight, it's that seeking that is a sort of is driving the attention away from what's true, what's already here. So you would say, like I've been on non-dual retreats where the teacher said, go away, there's no point in you being here, there's nothing for you here, you might as well be just walking in the garden. But as long as the entire experience of what we are and of what reality is unquestioned, is coming from this unquestioned belief structure handed down from who knows how many centuries, we can spend the rest of our lives just in that, believing that, suffering within that, and the suffering getting worse actually because we can't not attempt to numb that or distract from it or fix it in some way, all of which is making it more and more believed and concrete and something that has to be resisted and got rid of. And so the question that I was trying to really address head on in home is how to align the experience and the knowledge of what we are with truly what we are, without adding to that seeking that you mentioned, Alfie. So without giving one jot of reason for the mind to prolong its search. How I think it's the most profound question, how to settle the mind into what's true, how to bring about sanity. And we are sane, because like what you're saying, we are sane, but if the mind is believing itself, the experience of life can be so far away from the ease and the peace, the freedom of pure intelligence in action, say. So that's the dilemma, and it's what I try to do on all of these courses is bring a brick wall to that seeking self that is trying to find peace through the right emotions or the right experience, and to say that stops here. This is every experience in life is the undoing of that. Yeah, which I think, Karen mentioned voice, and I think voice was really good in that respect of looking at how life's experience is pointing the way back home. It's not evidence that one day we're going to be okay. It's evidence that right now, of what we are right now. Yeah. Does that answer your question, Alfie?
Yeah, thanks, Claire.
Yeah, it's a really good question. It's the right question to ask. And it's the sort of benchmark to hold me to as well. Yes. Yeah, so wonderful to stay in the conversation even though it's not needed. Yeah.
Claire, I have a question. I think you've already answered it, but just for my own reassurance, I've never taken any of your other classes. And of course, with a full membership, you know, the thought of, oh, I'm going to stay up all night and do all of them. But as I hear it, home would truly be foundational.
Yes.
And then, yeah. And I want to approach it with a beginner's mind, an open mind, and
good.
Yeah. So this is a perfect place to start.
Yeah. Yeah. Or for all of us, it has to be a beginner's mind, me included. Yeah, that's really good, Judy. Yeah. The and actually in terms of time required, it's not that much really, because the recordings aren't long. They're every 3 days. The webinars you can attend or not attend, listeners' recordings. The one-to-one conversations, I think once you start watching them, you really want to watch them all because they're so good. And what people are saying is so honest and brave and so resonant for all of us. But it's not a lot, you know. It doesn't take up a huge amount of time, really. Yeah. Okay. Shall I go straight into Reset 2022? Oh, and it's good that we've got Suzanne here because she was a massive, enormous, gorgeous, brilliant part of Reset 21. So the idea with the resets, and I'm not doing any more just private one-to-one coaching now because I just loved last year's group so much, and actually it wasn't called the reset at the time, but Terry was on it, and we had it was called the mastermind groups, which were the sort of precursor of the reset. And Diane, if Diane is still here. Oh, I should picture now. Yeah, and oh, there she is. Hey, lovely. Hi, darling. So what I've come to realize is there is immense value in real personal focus and personal attention to what is going on in each individual's life, because really our lives are a completely unique dissolution, we could say, a dissolution of what's believed. And when we have a combination of that real personal attention in a small group in which everyone gets to know each other and really love each other, you know, I know Terry and Diane and Suzanne would say this, it's like incredible the bond that is created when we're speaking regularly about the things that are dearest to our hearts or the areas of our greatest fears and unease. It's an amazing, magical, beyond support, like really beyond support. It gets to a level of like total understanding, of really seeing each other, seeing ourselves in each other. And so that's why I'm only going to be doing these small groups now instead of one-to-one work. And So for 2022, I've called it This Time It's Personal because it's based now on the ethos that the areas of our greatest difficulty are the areas where we will ultimately experience the greatest, deepest understanding of what we really are, and the greatest understanding of what it means to not remember what we are, and the things that we go through along the way to try to return back to our ease and our freedom is such valuable information and such valuable experiences that the areas of greatest difficulty, when we really stay with them, become, as I see it, they become our true gift back to the world. That becomes our true voice. And until we actually genuinely move through the other side into absolute total freedom in that area, we might be teaching in it, we might be writing, but we haven't yet come through it. It hasn't shown us yet everything that it needs to. And so all the trials, all the suffering that we go through, all the obstacles, all the times when we want to withdraw away, the times when we're, in conflict in different areas, these are all honing our voice. They're shaping our knowledge, our authenticity in this area that then becomes our life purpose in form. So we could say there's two purposes in life. The first purpose is the dissolution of identification. It's the ending of all the things that we think we are, the things that we think we should be. It's the ending of all of that. And that then unveils our true purpose, because we're then speaking from a voice that is so pure and so unobstructed by any sort of pretense or insecurity or denial. It's come right through. It's gone the whole rigor of all the beliefs to the contrary, and it's come out the other side as absolute total understanding of what's true. And I think what we see in like the really most astonishing teachers is that their life experience has been the total opposite of what's true, the absolute limitation, the absolute restriction, the playing out of huge fears, the enormous shame. They've really lived it. And it might be in money, it might be in health, it might be in relationships, jobs, anything, but they've lived it and they come out the other side into truth, and they now have a knowledge and a compassion and a way of speaking to people that encapsulates the whole thing. And I'm so excited about this. And so that's the basis for Reset 2022. This time it's personal. And it will be set up on the basis that we go straight in really from day one to really look at these tricky areas in our life. And I've got a diagram to show you.
Be the great, the word is thirsty.
Oh, mother. Where have I put that then? Sorry. Here. Ah, sorry, I had it 2 minutes before this started. It's in there. No. Oh, bother. Sorry, I'll have to use. Okay. Oh. Very lovely. Do you mind just muting a second?
Hear me?
Yeah, I think your mute's come off. Thanks, Lou.
Sorry.
No worries at all. Yeah, I'll have to use the one from last year. I'm sorry. Oh. Oh no, here we are. Okay. Yeah. So can you see this? So this is so 1, 2, and 3 was what we did last year, and last year what we were looking at is that in all of these areas, environment, relationship, mind, body, health, work, money, anywhere that there's a problem, it's because there's a play out of defense and need and fear and shame. So these areas are never what they seem to be. They're always what's been learned, projected out into the world. So they represent what's inside. They're making transparent the conditioning and learning that is made of the idea of limitation. And so what we looked at in all of these areas is how each area is a healing of the layers of identity, which ultimately leads us to all of them playing out as presence, love, intelligence, and action. And so what we're going to do for this year is this again, to whatever extent is useful for each individual. And then here we're going to see how the areas that were really difficult to begin with can actually become the areas of our true authentic voice. So it's like, Karen mentioned the voice course, it's like a layer of that really added on to really see how the greatest difficulties, they're difficult because there's this deep knowing of what we are and the deep knowing of the ease and the freedom that really is our birthright in these areas. And as we move through, the areas that were once the greatest limitation become the place of unimaginable freedom and playfulness. And more often than not, I would say the place where for the rest of our lives, this is now a no retirement zone, because it then becomes a lived excitement and a lived joy of exploration that we might never have had before. Because why would we ever stop? Once something has been uncovered as truly a freedom in form, really playfulness in form. There's and it doesn't matter whether it's in work or money, environment, relationships, health, whatever. It's engaged. It's like it's immensely engaging for the rest of our life. So that's the basis. That's the basis of the course. And if I bring up the format of it. Yeah, so it's going to be, oh, sorry, you can't see that, can you? Yeah, so it's going to be maximum 12 people, minimum 6, and it will be over May, June, July, August, and September, with the objective that of huge support in allowing, owning, and moving beyond personal identification with fear, shame, and insecurity to a life of increasing intimacy, integrity, alignment, and ease of expression. So it's really going ahead. You know, Karen mentioned earlier, no, Deborah mentioned about holding us to really like holding us still in these areas to really take what is being there to be seen. And this is the place where it happens. It's hard to do in a big online course, but we can really do it in a small group. I won't read all that. I'll just go straight through to the structure so you can see how it will all work out. So we'll have an inquiry lab. One of my learnings from the last 2 years is how good it is either if we can to get face to face, or if not, to have proper time, like really have proper amount of time that everyone can talk, and there's, you know, we get to a real richness of conversation that we can't get if we're short of time. So we're going to have an inquiry lab on the first Thursday of the month, from 3 to 7 BST. Either live if we can. I would hope maybe even some of the US people might come over. And it will either be in my caravan here by the beach, or in Marlborough, or of course on Zoom. Much easier if you, especially if you're outside the UK or far away from here. And then we'll have a 2-hour group call on the 3rd Thursday of each month, and with 2 of those group calls in September, on the 15th and the 29th, so that we end all together. And then this is something that when I talked this through with members from last year, they thought this would be a good idea, is options for calls on the other Thursdays that are participant led, with a volunteer leader from the group on each call. And there's something very awesome about what goes on without me. It was the same with Terry and Diane's year, and then this year was to that. Like, there's a sort of a freedom, I think, in a way, without me there. So that's quite cool to have that as well. And then there'll be you know, WhatsApp chats and lots of things going on outside of the meetings. In August, it's going to be a chance to work on an individual intimacy with form project, I'm calling it, which is a chance to really get still with the areas of life where there's a lot of resistance, and a chance to just sort of let all the learnings that we've been doing in May, June, and July to settle down. Each month we'll have a new buddy pair, and I very much suspect that previous buddy pairs will be maintained, because relationships in this sort of environment can become so strong and supportive. I think we'll probably all end up with at least 5 through the 5 months, very, very strong buddy relationships. And then a recorded one-to-one call each month for each participant with personal actions and homework. That's as a minimum. So that I would say a requirement. And this whole thing is a money-back guarantee course. It always has been. And but it's on. You have to have done everything that I've asked you to, basically. So that would be one of them, a minimum of one-to-one call each month. And what I found was in the last group that some people set one up for each week, and that was really cool to sort of chart all the way through the course how the different things that were coming up, we were really responding to life as it was happening. Yeah, so there would be other commitments, other things like, in the last one we had commitments around, just say about the subliminals. Yeah, sorry. And then 3 bespoke personal subliminal recordings, which you'll get before the end of July. And those 3 they'll be based on questionnaires with you around fear, shame, and need, to really, like Suzanne was saying, really tap into the most sort of embedded elements of our psyche to turn them into expansion and sanity and presence. So in terms of commitments, it would be things like listening to the subliminals morning and evening, taking care of the body in terms of exercise and hydration and fresh air, things like that. And then doing any of the bits of homework that come up, things like that. Anyone who signs up to the reset is automatically gets the year membership. If you've already signed up for the real membership for the year, then we can just take it off the price if you wanted to do reset. The cost of it is 7,700, but there's really good early bird discounts. So so by the end of January, 4,700, or it just starts going up a bit as we get closer and closer. But as I said, I know it's a lot. I know it's a massive chunk of money, but it's the most attention and focus that we could ever create in a course, and it is a money back guarantee. If you've done everything through the course and you're not satisfied at the end, then then we work out a refund of however much you think you should get back. But no one's asked for one to date, so I'm not counting on that ever happening, to be honest, because we just put everything in, and the whole group puts everything in to every member thriving, and it's really powerful, really magical to have that support. And we do, and Suzanne, I'm sure if anyone has any questions, can tell you about things like this, but we do exercises so we really see that our shame is not our shame. It's not a personal thing, and we did little different I won't go into much detail now, but different exercises that allowed us to hear our own words really coming from someone else directly, to really see it's not me, this is it, it's just a creation of mind, it's just a belief. So I'll stop the share there. I know it's a lot, but it's I think it's the best of its kind, honestly, because I've done so much stuff like this, and I've never done anything that has that level of personal focus and sort of, as we go along, adaptation to what's coming up, and like bringing in different ways of really enabling that shift from a deeply identified state to freedom. So there we go. That's Reset 22. Any questions on that? Hi, Georgiana. So sorry for the mess up with the links and everything.
Yeah, I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Suits. Oh, yeah. I'm confused. Is Georgiana speaking at the moment?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. You carry on, Sue.
Okay, so the question was about the bonus towards the end. You, if I'm understanding correctly, included in the total price is 7,700 or the 4,700 or any level in between. Yeah. All the live courses that you are going to be creating this year, including the home,
yeah,
are included in the membership.
Yeah, are included in the reset price.
In the reset, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So that's quite a nice bonus. So if anyone's paid already, then it comes off. Yeah. Okay, Sharon, lovely to see you, darling. Yeah, see you soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any thoughts? Any questions?
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm supposed to say hello.
Yes,
I've sort of
hello.
I've been reading your books, and I've joined recently, and I'm just about the reset course. Do you feel like you need to have a sort of a level, like not like an entrance exam, but sort of a level of understanding to get the most out of it, being as I'm quite new?
No, I think it would be really handy to do home before. I think it's I think it's never in, and particularly because we're going to be looking at really different areas in our lives. It's never so much the case of what we've done or what we've seen, but I think it's the case of how safe we feel to hold still in these areas without without trying to numb the experience or withdraw from it in some way. So I think it could be the case that someone might have seen so much and be living with so much more ease, but then there might be just this one area, many say, or health something, where there's just a continued ongoing restriction in some way, or there's a sense of ill at ease, and then I think it's in a way that it's a responsibility on me to create an environment that feels safe enough to allow the defenses of the identity to come down. And yeah, so I think home is really useful in terms of setting up the place that we'll be coming from all the time. But then I think the rest is on my shoulders to create the right environment for us all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kathy. Nice to meet you.
And you.
So Claire, I have a question that's forming, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to articulate it, but I'll have a go, and otherwise it might be in writing tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm noticing a stillness. So there's not the kind of searching energy quality experience that there's been for, I guess what's kind of brought me to most of your courses. So, and that's not to say that I think that there's never going to be any stuff being triggered or conditioning. I mean, it's there all the time. Sometimes I don't know whether it is. So I guess I'm kind of wondering whether, I suppose in a way it's a similar question to Alfie, whether I've reached a point where there's more a space, sort of a pulling back from a direct inquiry, whether that's what this tube is moving towards, or whether it's I guess I'm feeling, if I get back into some sort of direct inquiry, is that just going to be artificially triggering stuff? And then I'm thinking at the same time, well, if there's ever any stuff, it's kind of like great to look at it and have the opportunity for the revealing and for seeing. So I guess I'm just sort of sitting with a bit of an inquiry, I suppose. I guess there's no real answer. The answer will arise.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think it's very. Oh, Suzanne's saying my experience is that one arrives at discernment in this context. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
What does that mean? What does she mean?
Well, Suzanne, do you want to say?
What I mean, Sue, and it was quite a revelation to me, is that one has such a clearer perspective of the activity of the identity and the little dramas that it's wanting to create, that one is able to discern between something that really requires attention and something that doesn't. Because as Reset progressed, I got to a place where I was so darn comfortable that I was having difficulty moving into the areas that are still problematic, because I can't say that everything's gone away. I just got way comfortable with everything. A lot of things shifted, but some things didn't. So I now have this discernment between when I'm motoring merrily along, ignoring something that I shouldn't be ignoring, and when there really is, when I'm just making shit up. Excuse my language. Did that clarify it a bit?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I love what you're both saying. It's really cool. And I think it's like it's we've talked a lot before in different courses of that tightrope between denial on the one hand and using this conversation to actually deny stuff, like Suzanne's saying, or what, like tipping over to the other side with the risk of like you're saying, Sue, they're like creating issues that aren't even there. and then I think that sort of level of discernment that Suzanne's talking about, where like a sort of deep honesty, I think, with ourselves. Oh, bye, Karen. Thanks, darling. Of really like from a sort of systems perspective, is thriving really happening? Is there really, if we look at the mind body actually like as a plant or as a animal, is it really, is it all the things that it needs to thrive there and happening? Pity. Yeah. Me and Terry have a cat conversations. Yeah, but we can't deny. I think if we're trying to use this conversation to deny the physical, emotional, social fulfillment needs of the mind body, it's taking us away from what's true, really. Yeah, and I think this can bring about a real honesty, a real sort of just a clearer look, like a deeper, honest, clearer look at what's true for us.
And we're really not saying that if there is no angst or anguish, that there is any denial happening.
No, not at all. And I think that's the value of being together over 5 months, is to see what comes up in that time. And then we work through that. Plus we will do exercise. So like money is a really good one. We will do stuff like around money just to see what's there to be seen. You know, it's good. It's good. It's a good one to get clear on and get sane with. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Anything else? Any other comments or questions?
I think Alfie had a question comment.
Ah, Alfie.
Oh, it wasn't really a question. I was just listening to Sue, and I was just thinking it's interesting, isn't it, how we become so dependent on the kind of felt experience of the drive of seeking or something as being the thing that tells us to do something or not. And so if we're not being driven by that seeking,
yes,
it's like learning to recognize the new impulse of doing, you know, what then does the impulse to do something feels like if it's not with that kind of drive. And I guess it just then happens, or it doesn't happen, or something which feels a bit like without input. But I guess that's it. It's like without the it's without the me input that the real input might arise or something. I'm not.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. I'm going to read out this quote to you, because this is so this is the Rumi quote. I was thinking like this is like to encapsulate what we would be doing with Reset. The Rumi quote is, "Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray." Enormous, and that what you really love is made more and more clear by the sort of getting more and more into reality, more and more sane. And then I've added on to that, and let yourself be silently dissolved by the resistance to what is. It will reveal home. I think it's those two things really that I'd be most interested in exploring on Reset, is the pull of what we love, that, you know, that sort of inner lighting up, the hell yeah that Steve Chandler calls it, and at the same time staying present to where there's resistance, staying really present to where there's where there's something at stake, you know, where there's something, there's a grip of that's holding us somehow in a relationship with that thing. And it's those two prongs, and that is very active, but it's not active from an identity perspective. It's active from a dissolution of the identity at the same time as an acknowledgement of what lights up the whole system. So yeah, I love that, Alfie. I really get what you're saying there. Yes. Yeah, me too, Sherry. Good.
Claire.
Yeah, hey.
It's me.
Hi.
After many moons of coming to terms with, well, many years of thinking there had to be the divine purpose in order to have a reason for being here, and a lot of years of really realizing that there is no purpose, and being at peace with that, just knowing who we are and living life fully in the moment. I'm just curious because you talk about purpose, and so I kind of throws up some, what does that mean? Yeah. You know, the ego loves to have a purpose, to give itself some reason for being, and that's been a huge thing in my life, and only recently I've been able to that's just sort of dissolved, and it's okayness without that has been amazing. So I guess I'm just curious about that piece.
Yeah.
I think I understand, and I'm very interested in your program. I think I do know that there are places that are sticking points for me as far as teaching and, helping others and that kind of stuff. And then the fears that come up in me that stop me from moving forward with that. So.
Yeah. And that's it.
Not because it's necessarily a big purpose. It's more that it just lights me up to be able to share, and then to have this thing kind of shut it off.
Yeah. I get it. And I think so what I'm looking at in terms of purpose with Reset is that the entire purpose, the entire way our lives appear, our experiences appear, the entire purpose of all of that is directly to dissolve this sense of limitation, dissolve the idea of separation. Because everything we resent, everything we resist, everything we're fearful of, shamed in, insecure about, is coming directly from a learned idea of separation. It's literally the inside conditioning made visible outside. And so the entire purpose of the way everything appears is to show that. And that's not an ego-led purpose. It's the direct opposite of ego-led, because it's there's no space for the ego in that. There's no space for separation in really seeing how the external is showing the internal for the
I think we might be talking about purpose differently. The way you're talking about it has to do with, for lack of better words, waking up.
Yeah.
Through this thing that has kept that waking hidden.
Yeah.
Rather than, having the purpose-driven life that we hear about on YouTube and everywhere else that is trying to give people a sense of identity.
Yeah, exactly. And then once that's happened, and this is the sort of objective of Reset, is as that happens, so as that purpose of dissolution happens, through it our true voice emerges, and that then is our, really, I think we could look at not from an ego point of view, not from that this is me and my value, but really it's the space in which what we say is most true, is most powerful and talks most directly to the truth of other people. So the problems that we have with teaching, say, for example, are because there are things that haven't been moved through yet. We're not yet in our authentic voice. And as we move through the areas of difficulty, that voice becomes absolutely grounded. And there's it's unstoppable then. There's nothing in the way.
I'm feeling you when you're talking because it's where you're coming from.
Yeah, it is that it's our most difficult areas become the things that that's what where our freedom of life is really always. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Terry, my love. Thank you. Any other questions, or shall we draw ourselves to a close? Yeah, Kerry, hey love. Oh, you're heading off. All right, darling. Lovely to see you. Bye, my love. Bye, darling.
Missed the webinar.
Oh. Am I on?
Hi,
Claire,
Susanna.
Hi.
Hey, lovely. I'm so sorry. Did you get the wrong link there?
No, I got it. I just was late getting on. That's all. And then I was on my phone and then I switched. So
okay.
I think somebody asked a question similar to this, and like I said, I joined a little bit late. Like, why would someone do this? Like, do you need to have like a reason to do it? And I find myself like kind of afraid that if I get into it, I'll like mess up my life.
Yeah.
Like, you know what or like it will call forth suffering for me to learn from.
Oh, that's such a lovely question. I get that concern. Anything that changes in our lives would only I just want to see what Suzanne said. Followed by unimaginable lightness and joy. Yeah, it's true. Because anything that will change in our lives is changing because of a much saner mind and a body and actions that are much more aligned to the understanding that there aren't really any other people, there aren't really any other circumstances. It's all us. And so there might be changes, but they're coming from the good of the whole. So it can't go wrong. There's no risk, really. There's definitely a risk of suffering, for sure. That's fine. And brilliant to have it within a group of the most loving and supportive people you could ever imagine. Brilliant, really, to work through our areas of fear and shame in that environment. And the whole thing really is about seeing that suffering is our greatest gift. So we're not in this to feel good. We're not in this to have everything how we think it should be. We're in this to see what's true. And then we go from there. But it won't, nothing bad is going to happen. I promise. It can't. It really, literally can't. Because it's all actions are lining up to truth. Yeah, I really promise. Okay. Good question. It is disruptive, but it's disruptive in a sense of what we were clinging on to is not ever going to deliver what we think it is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Lovely, good discussion, and I'm so sorry. Oh, and just to check, are you okay if I send out this recording and if Sam emails it to the wider group? Is that okay? Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, so nice to see you all. Yeah. Hi, Julie. I'm so sorry about the link. Yeah, see you all soon. So much love to you. Bye. Oh, bye, my loves. Bye.